To me, it's sickening. It's almost to the point where it makes you cry sometimes.
Why did you do it, Chief? How many of your students have been shot and killed?
63.
A half century ago, East St. Louis was an all-American city. Today, it's one of the most depressed and violent cities in the country. Prosecutors call it America's war zone. I've spent nearly a decade there investigating the school district, police, and politicians. Tonight, News 4 investigates how corruption has crippled this beaten-down community, making it harder to do almost anything, including enforcing the law. Did you commit fraud, Larry?
Negative, sir.
They are supposed to enforce the law. Can I read the warrant to you? But repeatedly. Did you text criminals and warn them that police officers were coming to get them? Police in East St. Louis and the villages surrounding it. Sir, can you talk about the allegations against you? Have been charged with committing serious crimes in the line of duty. Mr. Halter, why were you arrested today?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, here's your complaint. Why don't you read the criminal complaint?
It might have been for sucking your
Excuse me? Many of them have bounced from one small-town police department to another, often getting hired because of their connections to a chief or more prominent politicians who are either corrupt or conveniently choose to ignore complaints about their favored cops. Either way, the process of law enforcement is corrupted. In Allerton, village leaders may proclaim Jesus as Lord, but criminals ran the government, so public officials are often cut a lot of slack. Last year, our investigation found the city administrator and public works director were both convicted felons who had recently served time in prison.
No comment.
None of that bothered Allerton Mayor Randy McCallum, who repeatedly supported the public officials who were investigated, charged, and in some cases convicted of crimes. But that's not surprising. Allerton's tolerance of official misconduct goes back decades.
The people here loves me. They come by to see me, they call me. They wish I was mayor.
Callie Mobley became mayor of Allerton in 1981, serving 19 years in office. After she became mayor, her husband Jimmy got promoted to run the streets department. Federal prosecutors allege the couple stole more than $240,000 in cash and services from the poverty-stricken village. Ms. Mobley was convicted of tax evasion and served 2 years in prison.
I think corruption is a big problem.
How do you define corruption? What is corruption?
I guess I'm going to use your word that you said, crook. And I didn't like the sound of it, but it's true. I think that we as a people that goes into things like that, I think that we think that maybe we can get away with something. I never wanted to get away with anything. I mean, once they say, you did this and you did that.
Up until that point, you were getting away with it.
But I always felt bad.
You felt bad while you were getting away with it.
Yeah.
But you kept doing it.
I know.
So you couldn't have felt too badly.
Well, I felt bad.
Her story is a lesson of the poor bowing to temptation. Mobley says when she first became mayor, she was making only $600 a month. Then, because she had access to more money and power than she ever imagined, she essentially got the keys to her own kingdom, and she quickly abused the privilege. Because you were breaking the law, you were able to get a better quality of life.
But it was wrong.
It was wrong. No one would excuse it.
No.
But you were
and
able
I would
to buy.
want them to.
But you were able to buy nicer clothes.
Yeah.
You were able to buy a nicer car, right?
Right.
Probably nicer furniture. All those things because you were a crook.
That's what you said. You got to change that name.
But is that right?
You get the dictionary, you're going to find another word for that.
but
yeah, you're right.
But in fairness, you were a crook.
Yeah.
And it's hard to accept that.
I don't like the terminology, but you were right. You're right.